And we live.
All right, welcome to another episode of It's Debatable NBA Edition. I'm your host, Justin Jones, here with co-host Sebastian Pluvio and special guest San in the building. Y'all may know him as San Bando.
Boy,
I know him as a crazy YN. But my boy is here in the building right now. It looks
happy to
like
be here.
thank you for joining the program, my brother. So we already got two Knicks fans up here, so we might as well just start right there. Um, l- Let me just go first, and then y'all can have the floor to go talk y'all nonsense. The Celtics and Knicks last night was a good game, in my opinion. Me and Seb kind of spoke on this one thing, and I think this was the major thing in the game: the three-point shooting. Right? We spoke about last time how the Celtics just take the most threes in the league and the most attempts and all that, and when they're on and they're shooting them and they're making them, they are one of the top two best teams in the East and have a good record and all that. And when they don't knock down the threes, they can lose like they did last night and blow a 20-point lead. So do I expect the Celtics to miss 40 plus threes every single game? No. Am I gonna expect Jason Tatum to miss all those shots in the fourth quarter and only make one field goal in overtime? No. Am I seeing Porzingis again look like he's not even a player on the team? I don't expect that. But you got to give credit to the Knicks. When it was time to win, they won. I just still don't think the Knicks is better than the Celtics. But I will say this: two things. I think the Celtics need to win game two. You lose game two, it's just a uphill fight, and I just don't like that for any team. And the second thing, I think that the I think that the Celtics just kind of just took their foot off the pedal. They wasn't really too engaged throughout the game the whole time. I feel like the Knicks just kept fighting the whole time. Um Shout out to the Knicks. Here's the thing I was just missing. If the game is close, the Knicks is dangerous, right? They have Jalen Brunson who just knows how to make a lot of big shots. We've seen that in the last series against Detroit. So if I'm Boston, I can't keep it within like a 2 3 possession game because the Knicks aren't really rattled in that, in those times of pressure. And Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year, he's been getting the job done. So the Celtics just gotta figure out how to show more different things on offense than just shooting threes, and I think they'll be okay in this series. But Seb, talk to us about game one. Go ahead.
All right, so game one is just everything that I spoke about and just stealing home court advantage. And I spoke to you about this. I talked about throwing the whole paycheck, bro. Like throwing the whole paycheck on
You
game
didn't do
one.
that. You didn't do that. So
You
stop
don't
saying
know.
things
You
you
don't
didn't
know
do with
what
that.
I did.
No, because if you did, you would have showed like you do any other ticket you want. So
You
stop.
don't
I
know
got
what
stop.
I
Go ahead,
did.
talk,
I
bro. Go
told the
ahead.
I told the people throw the house on game one, New York Knicks, man. I just felt like at that point in time, there was no better time to steal a road victory than game one. Because at a point to what you were saying, the Celtics did take their feet off the gas a little. And that because they felt comfortable, they was hitting threes, everything was going for them. Karl Anthony Towns was in foul trouble. Derek White was shooting lights out. Peyton Pritchard led in the first half with 13 points. Everything like it was going good. But then came gut check time. And this is something with the New York Knicks that we kind of question when it came to these teams, man. Can they, put together a good run and actually make a push for it? And in that third quarter, with 5 minutes left to go, everything just started going their way. And it started with OG Anunoby. And it's been definitely the X factor for this team, this playoff series, because he's been there consistently with the scoring and playing defense on the other end, too. So he was a major reason why in that third quarter we cut it to at least, what was it, 4 or 5 points? So when I look at this team right now, it was an uphill battle. Like, film, you just had to fight every quarter, every time, no matter how much threes they were making, how much three they were missing. We know that this Boston Celtics team is still a dangerous team to where they could get their shots going. They could get the flow of offense going at any time. But the composure of this team to just stick with it throughout the whole game. A lot of, timely clutch shots by Jalen Brunson, like we said, in that fourth quarter where he gave us at least a 6 point lead and hitting back-to-back threes. It's like, all right, we know Boston is still going to have throw their best punch. And we managed to even get it to overtime when realistically we shouldn't even went to overtime. Jalen Brunson should have made that shot. That was the easiest shot he's gonna get. But even he laughed at it because you can't really control some shit like that. But in that fourth quarter, I mean that overtime, Jalen Brunson didn't score, I believe, and we still managed to pull out a victory. That just should show you that, feel me? In this series, we are gonna have to fight for everything. If we want to win this series, it has to be a fight for the very end. Like, feel me? Mikal Bridges, fucking Iron Man. 51 minutes last night, and maybe his shooting might not show what it did, but the defensive end and just what he was able to bring and just that timely stops, getting three, like two block shots, three steals, and the most clutch steal at the end of the game to not even let Jalen Brown get a 3-point shot off. It's just to show you that I believe that, like I said before, playing in the Detroit series just woke up our mental toughness. You got to be mentally tough in that series. And then shout out to the Detroit Pistons because they woke us up. Because now you see we didn't back down. We didn't have our heads down the whole time. It's an uphill battle. We're just fighting. Like OG Anunoby, not rattled. Josh Hart out there just, hustling like we're rebounding it. Every missed shot like we're rebounding. Mikal Bridges, even if he doesn't get a rebound, he's tipping it out so that, feel me, somebody else could secure a rebound. Like, feel me, it's an uphill battle. So I love what I see from game one. I don't know about games two. I don't know about game two because I don't feel like the Boston Celtics missed 45 threes like you said. I don't think that happens again, but I think that, feel me, you have that confidence now to where it's just like, all right, the narrative changed now. We talked about, we 0-10 in the season against the top three teams. Let's do it when it matters. And last night showed just like, we're going to fight to the end. Jalen Brunson said it best. We're going to find a way to win, and that's what's most important in these playoff games. It don't matter how you get it done in the playoffs. It could be the ugliest win, or it could be a clear cut, we just bust your ass win. All that matters is you get that win. And that's exactly what happened last night, man. So shout out to the fucking New York Knicks, man. Shout out Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby. Shout out to the whole team, matter of fact. And somebody I want to give a shout out to, most importantly, that actually, stepped up to Deuce McBride. He
I
was
told
shaky
you.
last series. Yeah,
I
he was
told
shaky
you.
last series,
I
but
told you he was a.
I seen the confidence, man, hitting them timely threes, getting a stop, attacking to the basket. Everything that we wanted to see from Deuce McBride last series, we got it here right now. So, feel me? Shout out to the New York Knicks, man. Game two is going to be a tough one, but feel me? I want to see how well we play. I don't want us to get off to a slow start, but we just going to have to wait and see. But I'm going to leave the floor to you, son.
All right, man. It's orange and blue skies right now. I told y'all this is the most dominant guard in the game of basketball this season. When the moment is big, he steps up. He's never too small for the moment. Now, most people say the Celtics is not gonna go 15 from 60 from the three again, which I believe. They're a hell of a team. I give them more credit. But the thing that I think people is not also giving the Knicks is Cat had a horrible game. We need more from him. Well, not a horrible, but he didn't have a good game. We need more from him down the road. Another person that didn't have a great game, but they played terrific defense is Mikal Bridges. I doubt he's gonna go. I think he was 3 for 15 from the field. I doubt he'll go 3 for 15 again, or it might have been 3 for 13, something like that. So, and he's going to be there on defense. So now, if those two factors show up, we're arguably talking about a blowout right now. But I got to shout out Josh Hart. Got to shout out Deuce McBride. They had a hell of a game. They brought the intensity. I felt like when we got down 20 due to the hack of Mitch, Tibbs, I'm gonna give him a little credit. I like the Precious adjustment he added. I've been telling Seb all through series one. I feel like Precious Achua could add valuable minutes to our rotation. And I think Tibbs showed a sign of growth a little bit yesterday, just playing him the few minutes he got out there. Now I really think just for game two, you gotta just stay close. You're not gonna win every game. This is gonna be a hard series, but what you can't all you gotta do is believe. You can't listen to the naysayers in the NBA and what people are saying. You just have to believe, and I think we should be all right.
Yeah. Y'all both made great points. Just the one thing you said, if I don't like doing the ifs, the next one period. You said if Towns played better, and that's like saying if Porzingis played better, if Tatum made more shots in the fourth quarter, we could do all the ifs. The Knicks won the game, and it came down just to clutch time performance, and the Knicks was just better in the final minutes period. So shout out to the New York Knicks. Game two was win
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Tomorrow.
Wednesday, so everybody be in tune for that. I think it's gonna be a great game. I'm interested to see the adjustments made by by both teams. Yeah. So the other game we had last night, the Denver Nuggets versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, game one in OKC. OKC had a long layoff. Denver just came off a game seven. To where, hold on. He almost got away with it real quick. We never talked about James Harden, and it's about he almost just got away with it, and I almost just forgot. Before we even get into the series, we had a game seven. The Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets said we talked about this mother effing game. And what have I been saying, Sam?
When you need him most, he disappears.
You came on this show and said, I spoke to Jock. And Jock said that if Chris Dunn knocks down the timely threes, now they're the best team. And I was like, no. Like, because we're forgetting that James Harden, when you need him the absolute most, not regular season, not game one, when you need him the most, he's gone. This man had, what was it, 7 points or 8 points? I don't want to mislead.
7 points.
7 points.
Nigga had 7 points. That's less than the game, his previous game seven, where he dropped the damn ball. It's just you only had 8 shot attempts. You had 13 assists, and you know Fabian tried to say in the chat, "Oh, he had 13 assists." I don't want to hear no one say the nigga had 13 assists, bro. You don't need your second best player in the game seven to have more assists than points. That shit just don't make any sense. They got blown out. Of course, the organization gonna say all the good things. We're still, behind the plan of Kawhi and James Harden for the future. You got one 35 years old, the other one, the other one 34 years old. I think you just gotta do something different, man. James Harden's a good regular season player. Do not get me wrong. He deserves to be an All Star this season. If he gets All NBA, I wouldn't be surprised. But in clutch moments, the man just disappears. I don't want to hear again because niggas be saying some real disrespectful stuff. I don't want to hear he's better than Dwayne Wade. Stop with that narrative. I don't know who was the first person to say
Mm-mm.
that. That doesn't make any sense. When James Harden was in Houston, he was that man, averaging 30 plus and all the 60-point triple. That was all great. But the one thing we knew for Dwayne Wade, when it mattered most and we needed him to step up, he's going to do what he needs to do on two bad knees.
For sure.
That's a fact.
I don't
For
want to hear
sure.
this comparison no more. James Harden, you wet the bed again. And
I
I know
mean,
that same night that you was in the club too, so I know you don't even really give a fuck. But come on, bro. Like you gotta be better, bro. You got Kawhi. If I'm Kawhi, I would have threw you right under the bus talking about we could have played harder. No shit. It's game seven. Like what that was y'all supposed to do.
That third quarter one was lethal. I'm not gonna lie.
Go
You
ahead, Sam.
needed when you needed the offense the most. That third quarter run was just lethal. I'm watching it. Michael Porter Jr. looked like the second coming of like Stephen Curry. He's shooting it no matter who's on him.
I
And I'm
mean,
thinking, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do offensively? Nobody had nothing going. Norman Powell went goals. Kawhi Leonard had 27, but there's only so much you could do when the other team is shooting like fucking damn near 80% in the third quarter.
Uh, I mean, with this situation, I told Seb right before Game Seven, it depends on James Harden. If he shows up, it's a close game. I think the Clippers have a chance. If he doesn't, they get blown out the water. Just because the Nuggets, they've been there. They recently won a championship. I think they showed poise, and I think they showed that they're ready to compete for another championship.
My thing
Right.
is though, I want to say this. What is that different from game six when you had like 20 and 10 to game seven now to where you only take 8 shot attempts though? You just played the other night. He literally played Thursday night and balled out. There cannot be no difference. I don't understand what's the difference. Is it the flight? Is it the altitude endeavor that got you at? There is no possible way that you go from 20 and like 10 to 7 and 13, bro. There's no way, bro. He had money on the books, man. There's no fucking way, bro. 8 shot attempts in a game seven, that's disrespectful. That's a slap in the face to your teammates. That's a slap in the face to the organization. Because when you needed most in that third quarter, you had to get at least selfish. When I tell you, it looked like he's going up nonchalant. You remember that time? And this is a reoccurring thing in for game sevens. Remember that time? No, actually, in the elimination game, it was game six against the San Antonio Spurs. How bad he played to where Stephen A. Smith said, "I think he should be drug tested for how bad he played," because that was not James Harden. It might be just a him thing to where he just like, yo, I don't care. I don't think he cares, bro. You don't take 8 shot attempts, bro. If anything, you take 22 shot attempts. I don't give a fuck if you missing. Nobody can sit here and say, yo, if James Harden took 22 shot attempts and he went like 2 for 22, anybody would give a fuck about that. It's the fact that you did not take the shot attempts, bro, when you need scoring the most. When Denver's on a run, and now it's up to 20 points. He should have said that. He should have started get going when at least they started making it when he was up 10. Game 7 is just like, bro, it's win or go home. And I think in the third quarter, he decided, season done. What more can I do? Season done.
I
He
mean,
quit.
I saw a post on Instagram and it said James Harden, he'll get you there and the rest is on you. So
It's literally it.
I feel like with Harden, he wasn't aggressive. He was passive. And he honestly, like, not to disrespect him in any way, but he ducked smoke. When the time mattered, he ducked smoke. And I feel bad for Kawhi Leonard because we know he's good enough. If you give him a great team, we know he's good enough to get you there. But I think for the last few years, his second options just haven't been enough.
Nah, yeah. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know because it's like we seen this man in Houston put up like 60 shots a night, like to where he's shooting everything, literally everything. So to go from that, and obviously you're not the same player, you don't have that same explosiveness, but in the regular season, you still a 20 and 10 guy. Right? For the last four regular seasons, you've been a 20 and 10 guy. And it's just like when you get to that elimination game, you like you're just not there and it's confusing. And then the worst part, it has to I can't say he just doesn't care because he didn't do no post game interviews. We didn't hear a word from Harden. So it's obviously in the back of his head, but it's like you at least gotta be there with your team and speak to the media and because I guarantee if we check the recordings from those clubs in Denver, he was in one of them.
Bro, it's a sign that he don't
We
care.
check
But
his bank statements from that night. There's an $1,800 bottle of Don Julio in it.
in 1942, yeah, he was off the drink after, man.
Yeah.
They say he calling up little babies like, yo, season's done, man. What's the word, man?
I know he was on the private jet of that first fucking flight to Atlanta. It's
Well,
a
shit, that, yeah, man.
shame.
I mean, the Clippers, what can go wrong will go wrong.
Nah, listen, listen. We had a former, member of this show. And I know that really hurt his heart because, they tried to warn him. They made the playoffs and he thought that was their golden grace to the finals. No, it wasn't. And you lost. You know who I'm talking to. You may see this. You fucking lost, and I told you so. James Harden is a fucking fraud. Remember you said PG's a fraud? James Harden is a fucking fraud.
Ooh wee. But
But
now we in
now
that second round.
we are in the second round, and before we get to Denver and OKC, actually, let's just talk the Pacers versus Cleveland. Yeah, game one last night. Once again, said we talked about this, and we literally said the Pacers are a very good, well-rounded team, right?
Right.
So I've become more of a fan of them just throughout the whole season. I believe, back in those Warriors days, we heard a lot of strength in numbers, and I feel this is the same thing definitely for this team. They go about 9, 10 deep. Um, to the point when TJ McConnell comes in the game, he can go off for 15 or 20 on any given night and really just fuck up the whole game, right? You're not game planning for a guy like TJ McConnell. You got a guy like Benedict Mathurin who can come in and have more points than your starting point guard and Tyrese Halliburton, right? It's just everyone on that team knows their roles. The coach is confident in their game plan. and they was never rattled not since the opening tip of game one, right? So shout out to them. And for the Cleveland Cavaliers, I just think this is a bad matchup for them. They would have been better off playing Milwaukee, whose offense is complete dog shit. This Pacers team, they like to get up and down, and they're gonna have to get more people involved. Evan Mobley's gonna have to step up. Like
Darius
10 and
Garland gonna have to come back too.
Garland's gonna have to come back, but until then, Mobley 10 and 10's not gonna cut it. We need about 25 and 13, right?
That
Jared,
injury report was not nice to them today.
right. I definitely heard that, but everyone's a little banged up right now. If you can go at 5-10%, we just need you out there. Jared Allen, we know I think you might have some back problems right now, but I'm gonna need more than 5 fucking rebounds. You're about 7 foot. That's just not gonna cut it for me, buddy. Um, Donovan Mitchell played well, but he does need more because the Pacers got so many options. They're running up and down the floor. Tyrese Halliburton probably has the most confidence out of anybody right now. Right, him and Jalen Brunson, right? They feel like they can go to the finals. Obviously, his dad does after he almost fought Giannis just the other night. So the whole family got confidence, right? Um, I think Cleveland will adjust for game two, but it's a must win. Like for the Celtics and Knicks, I feel if the Celtics win down 0-2, it's still a series. If the Pacers go up 2-0 on the Cavs, I think it's over. Go ahead,
It's
Sam.
rap.
Go ahead, Sam. You could talk about it.
Oh, oh, well, Seb knows I picked the Pacers to win the series only because I think with Cleveland, I told Seb multiple times. I think with Cleveland, they're a great team. They had a hell of a year. I'm not taking nothing off their plate, but I think with the playoffs, you need experience. And I'm sold on Donovan Mitchell, but I'm not too sold on Mobley and Darius Garland yet. Even though he's been injured, so I put none of their playoff run on him yet. But I just think that them as the second and third option, I'm not really sold on as a Siakam or as a guy like with the Pacers. They just play great basketball. It's not hero basketball. It's let's get up and down the floor. If you're open, let's pass it to the open guy. Let's run. Let's play hard on defense. And I think that is going to help them. And I got Pacers in 7 or 6.
Mm. Seb?
Yeah, well, to me, like I said too, I definitely had the Pacers winning this series. Looks like as you said, strength in numbers, and to me, I just feel like more than not, oftentimes you see a variety of scoring from different players on the Pacers team. When I'm looking at these box scores, it's not only Tyrese Halliburton that's putting up, it's not only Pascal Siakam. Andrew Nimhart has stepped up in his role too this year. I feel like he's more comfortable offensively. Benedict Mathurin is not shying away from scoring the basket. TJ McConnell can come in and impact the game quick. Like he could put up at least a good 6 to 7 points just off of just, that little mid-range shot he likes, or just, getting a steal and then just pushing the break. Who else am I missing out on too? There's a lot.
Miles Turner.
Miles Turner too, another one that feel me when he gets going from shooting from three, or just maybe just a little putback dunk, like he's a weapon out there too. It's just like they really do believe in strength in numbers over there. When I look at it on Cleveland's end of the floor, if it's not Donovan Mitchell who does put up 30, you're gonna need guys like, especially Garland being out, you're gonna need a guy like Ty Jerome to step up big time. Max Strus gonna have to put up more than what he has, and somebody that they traded for, DeAndre Hunter, he's gonna have to be more aggressive and hunting shots. Depending how long Darius Garland is out, somebody's gonna have to be that definitive second option to where I'm not gonna shy away from taking these shots. And like to your point, it's gonna have to be Evan Mobley, defensive player of the year. Hello, like what's up? Maybe all NBA this year. What's up, man? Like feel me, this year time to shine. Like you met, like feel me, your point guard is out. Feel me, we're gonna need a lot of scoring. And the thing is, with Darius Garland being out, it definitely takes away from them offensively because he's a shifty guard, somebody that can create their own shots and still get others involved. So they're gonna need him back ASAP. For Cleveland, like you said, this is a must-win tonight. But when you're Indiana and then you see that you don't have their point guard out there, they're just gonna take advantage. I'm sorry, like with Indiana, I think it's like I'm not gonna take away from what they do on the court, but it's a form of luck that they get, bro. because Dame out and now Garland out. It's just like, come on, man. I'm not taking away nothing, but
I
it's just
mean,
like, damn.
I just have one thing I want to build on about a point you brought up. I like Ty Jerome's game, but I think he had a hell of a game one. But I think shot selection to me was very questionable. And late in the clock in the fourth quarter, you have to know I have to get the ball either to my first option or my second best option. Just sitting at the three, chucking up threes is not going to win you games, especially against this Pacers team. They have a champion in Siakam. They know how to play great ball. They have great players off the bench like Obi Toppin, Ben Matherin. I just feel like with Ty Jerome, he has to make his open threes, but he also has to know we have to go to D Mitch and Mobley down the stretch.
Yeah, he's
Nah,
still a point
yeah.
guard at the end of the day, too.
If I,
So
well, I
in
said
that
if I'm
role,
the,
my fault. Go
go
ahead.
ahead, bro. My fault.
Now,
If,
now I was yo.
go
Now
ahead,
I was
bro.
just saying. Now I was just saying though, like to add on to what Sam was saying, it was just that at the end of the day, he's gonna have to be a point guard. He's gonna have to make those decisions too as well. With him, I feel like you said, shot selection wise, I feel like he felt like it was my turn to step up offensively and put on board. You still got to make those decisions now, to where you got to read the game, you got to see the pace of the game now, slow it down. Like Indiana's a team they like to get out and run in transition too. So if you slow it down in a half court set, now it's easier to read the game. But if you let fucking Pascal Siakam grab a rebound, and now they pushing a break to now where you could just lob Obi Toppin or Bennett and Matthew in the corner. Now you're looking at a team that, feel me, they put up points very quick and they don't mind going over. So if they're a team that it's a game where it's a high scoring game, you might not win that one because they put up points regardless. No matter who it comes from, they're putting up points regardless.
No, yeah, you just brought up the point I was going to. If I'm the Cavs in game two, the adjustment I'm trying to make, I'm trying to slow the game down. Right? And Sam brought it up, just taking, unwarranted three-point shots. That's cool if you're making them or if you're getting offensive rebounding. But like I said, you had not Miles Turner, you had Jared Allen last game with 5 rebounds. So you're not getting no second chance opportunities. So you're taking these long threes, and then the Pacers is they're getting their rebounds and they're getting out in transition. They're passing it to the open man, and I just don't think that's the type of series that the Cavs is gonna want to play. They're gonna have to slow it down, get in the half court, put in some post ups for Mobley, some post up for Allen, to where they just can't beat you just down the court like that. I think that's what I would try to do if I'm Cleveland in game two, because I think the Pacers just want to make it attract me. They don't really have too many old players on that team. They got a lot of young dudes. We all said it that to get up and down. So the Pacers right now, they just have a lot of confidence, man. We're forgetting this is a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Yeah, they
Mhm.
might have had injury success in their part going against these other teams, but you got to play who's in front of you, and they just got a lot of confidence in them boys, man. You got a dude you brought up like Nemhard, who in the regular season didn't shoot the three ball particularly well, in the playoffs shooting over 50%. So things like that, it's tough to beat.
Damn, you know who I'm forgetting too? And shout out to him because I feel like he's gotten better gradually. Aaron Neesmith. I forgot to mention him too.
Ah, yes, he did.
And when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
because he's a lethal catch and shoot for them too. He's a guy that I think he's their best defender too as well. Doesn't shy away from the defensive challenge. I'm seeing him guard Donovan Mitchell a couple times. He's making it tough. Donovan Mitchell's somebody that's gonna get his points regardless, but it's about how tough can you make your matchup, how hard you gonna earn these buckets.
I
And I think
think
Aaron, go ahead,
my,
son.
my my fault to cut you off. You could finish.
No, yeah. So just to finish what I was saying with this Aaron Neesmith, when I'm watching him play, it's just like he's really the two way player. He gets a steal at the offensive, he gets a stop at the defensive end, and now he's catch and shoot. Like he's really like I feel like he has the most green line on the team. He might be the best 3-point shooter. And it's crazy that I forgot to mention, but that's another person that we know. Like we just mentioned at least 6 or 7 players on the Indiana Pacers, but we didn't mention another vital piece for them too. That's how deep this Pacer team is. Like when you look from the roster from top to bottom, they're playing at least 7 or 8 guys, maybe even 9 guys. Because I seen Thomas Bryant even get a little bit of burn too. So they're playing, and usually when we talk about a playoff team, you usually cut the rotation, but nah, they go to their bench, they get valuable minutes from their bench, they get valuable scoring and even timely stops for their bench to where a guy like Tyrese Halliburton or maybe Pascal Siakam could sit for a few, get a couple good rests.
Yeah, my I just want to say this quick thing, then we can move on to the last game of the night yesterday. But my only problem with D Mitch performance, I felt like he caught a little bit of Tatum syndrome and just was chucking threes. I think that he has to pick and roll, find whatever mismatch he has, and he has to walk them down. You can't just sit at the 3 point line with Neesmith, Nimhard. These guys are a good perimeter defenders. You can't just shoot a whole bunch of threes. But other than that, D Mitch had a stellar game in my opinion.
No, yeah. Two things to what both of y'all said. For what said, good thing bringing up the Aaron Neesmith. One of the more underrated trades, probably of this decade, but believe it or not, was on the Celtics way at the end of their bench. Almost the direction he was going was out of the league. If you really want to talk about it, got traded to Indiana, actually got an opportunity, and now is one of the best two-way players in the league. Underrated. So shout out to you for bringing that up. And to your point, son, with Donovan Mitchell. I feel like with Garland being out, he probably feels he has to play more of that Superman role because we see in the regular season to where his scoring dropped from last season, trying to get everybody else more involved and really having the ball more in Garland's hands. So with him just being out, probably the game plan is Mitchell. You're probably gonna have to take about 10 more shots than you was taking throughout the regular season per game.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But y'all both made some great points. So who do y'all win tonight? Cleveland or Indiana?
If Mobley doesn't suit up and Garland is questionable or not 100%, I think Pacers they don't show no mercy. They like to beat you when you're down.
Okay,
Yeah,
Seth.
I gotta go Indiana too as well. I just think that they smell blood, especially now they've seen the reports that Garland might not play again, and all these players are dealing with injury. They smell blood, and they're going to feel me try to go out and push the pace. Really, just try to put a stamp on what they got going so far, and just really just dominate and make sure that the Cavs didn't even regain home court or even a series up.
Right. So me, I'll go with the Cavs in game two. I think they'll make the proper adjustments. I'm hoping that Kenny Atkinson will coach of the year for a reason. So I'm interested to see what type of change he makes going into game two. But I'll take Cavs in a close one. Moving on, another game we had to end the night last night. Oklahoma City versus the Denver Nuggets. Just shout out to the Denver Nuggets just completing that comeback. Nikola Jokic just, I feel like kind of proven in that game one. Like, even if Shea wins this MVP, I think the league knows that I'm the most valuable player, literally. Like, just I believe it wasn't in the regular season. He was top five in every single statistical category besides blocks. And now we just seen here in the playoffs where I feel like everybody was saying the only way Denver wins game one is if Jokic kind of literally forces them to. And that's what he did. Shout out to Russ, who I'm always going to be a critic of ever since he came to the Lakers and tarnished a year of LeBron James. I always got my eye on Russell Westbrook. He played good. When Russ plays good, we have to say he plays good. But when he plays bad, I don't want to hear people say, "Oh, but in 2014 he won MVP." I don't. When he plays good, clap it up. That's what we needed. When he plays bad, we have to have the same energy. I say he plays well. You say not even because he had what 17, 18 points. I'm not worried about that. His decision making. Come down to the last play of the game. I feel like there's another version of Russ if he was in another universe who like pulls up for a three or some shit, has the ball and does some crazy shit. He calmed down, passed the ball to Aaron Gordon, who's a better shooter than you, believe it or not, knocks down the three. Perfect. That's it. Do you see how simple that was? And you don't you
Listen,
don't you,
man.
you don't gotta be the hero. Shout out to him for making the right decisions. I just said
Listen,
Aaron.
man. Growth is such a beautiful thing, man. Growth is such a beautiful thing, man.
Facts.
You'll love to see it, man. Look at Westbrook, so inspirational, man.
Shout out to Aaron Gordon, another game winner. We seen what happened last year. I think that was game two or game three. He had the putback dunk. Um, game one tonight. Once again, Russ gives him the ball about 2.8 seconds left, knocks down the three. Also, we should thank Chad Green, whatever the hell his last name is, for missing two free throws. That just comes with that experience, man. He hasn't really played in a playoff series, and now you're here. Every moment matters. Every possession matters. That came back to Oklahoma City. Denver really defied the odds because teams coming off a game 7 to now playing that that next game in the next series, they're usually on a trend to get blown out by at least 15 points. So shout out to Denver for just fighting and kind of breaking that curse. I'm interested to see the rest of the series. How'd y'all feel about last night? Go ahead, Seb.
So when I was watching the game at first, you could tell OKC was very well rested because they got off to a great start. The home crowd was rocking. Everybody had the same. One thing I like about I like to say this with the NBA, especially for these low market teams, when they have home court advantage, you could tell like the fans are really invested. Everybody got on the same shirt, like feel me? It gives the playoff atmosphere. So I'm saying these boys are locked there and loaded and ready to go. So Shea Gilgis gets off to a good start. Everybody is hooping. Chet gets a couple when like they get to at least a 10 to 15 point, I believe, advantage. But shit, after a while though, you see Denver, and that's what we talked about with playoff experience. You see that Jokic never got rattled once, always kept his composure, always kept them in the game. And I feel like in the fourth quarter, when at times you think the game is over, it's like the 3 minute or 4 minute mark. Oklahoma City's up at least 10. Denver's making a push, slowly making a push. OKC might score here. Shea Gilgis gets a step back three, or he's getting to the mid range. He's getting his shots. Never rattled. And I think it just really came down to just like you said, the foul game. Denver always handling business on the offensive end to come down and get a foul. And in that last moment where you really needed those free throws, it came back to bite them to where you thinking now just like, all right, maybe they have a chance. All you needed was one free throw, Chet. One free throw. But nah, grab the rebound. Like you said too, I thought Russ was gonna do some Russ shit. But feel me, that just shows you once again, growth is a beautiful thing, man. Growth is a beautiful thing. Kicked out to Aaron Gordon. And one thing I like to say, I know Jokic had a dominant game, 40 and 22. Like, feel me, that's like 2K numbers. And like at a point, it's ridiculous now what he's doing. Like, feel me, like at a point you see this and you cannot tell me this is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Like, Phil B, he's putting up 2K numbers like that, 40 and 22 like it's nothing. He's barbecue chicken no matter what center's in front of him. Holmgren, Hartenstein, like, feel me, it didn't matter last night. Whether you want it from the three-pointer, whether you want it from the mid-range, jab, or in the post, it didn't matter. Like, feel me, that was just food. And he really took advantage of, like, Chet Holmgren. Like, he looked like he needs to get in the weight room. That man, Chet Holmgren, needed some creatine. He needed some muscle milk, some shit, bro. That was a little boy. That was Shaq like to say barbecue chicken alert. And that's the prime example of barbecue chicken alert, what just happened to Chet last night. But yeah, but like I was saying, Aaron Gordon might be the most consistent factor for this Denver team. When I'm talking about consistent factor, the man had a tough task last series. He had to guard Kawhi Leonard, and he's still managing to put up points. And in that game 7, he was one of the major reasons why that team ran away. Because when I look at it, he's doing all the little things. He's screening and rolling. He's catching lobs. He's playing defense on the best defender. I mean, the best offensive player in Kawhi Leonard. And he's just running the floor. Like, you feel me? You need a glue guy. And I feel like Aaron Gordon has been the glue guy for them this whole postseason. When I'm looking at it, he's making the right plays. He's playing defense. He's doing everything for the Denver Nuggets right now. Like, it might get overshadowed by what Jokic is doing or if Jamal Murray is going crazy. But shout out to Aaron Gordon. That's one thing I want to say. Second game winner, set his feet, called the ball from Russ right in the perfect spot, catch. They didn't even need a 3, too. That's the crazy part. They was down when he didn't even need a 3. But it was the right moment, and he's been hitting that 3 at a consistent rate, too. So I want to say shout out to him, too. Another person I want to say shout out to, my guy Russell Westbrook, bro. I think he's invested now. I think he knows, like, if the time is not now, it's never that. He has the best chance in possibly winning a championship. And towards the end of the season, I feel like he got a lot of flack in the report media, how people were saying how Mike Malone wanted to play him, how they didn't want to play, how they should have played the Pickett dude. Russell Westbrook is not leading to winning basketball, stuff like that. Nick Wright. I'm calling out Nick Wright. Nick Wright is number one bullshit guy. I don't ever want to
Nah,
hear
so
Nick
we're
Wright.
not doing that. No,
Yep.
Seb,
No,
stop.
no,
All
no,
right,
no,
here we
no, no,
go,
no,
bro.
no, no, no. I'm
Here's
not
my
doing that.
problem. Hold on,
No,
Seb.
no, no,
Wait,
no, no, no.
Seb.
Because
Hold
no,
on,
no,
brother.
no.
Do
Can I
not.
finish? Can I
No,
finish?
bro.
No, no,
No, I'm
no.
not
I'm
letting you
gonna.
do that.
All right, now
I'm
I'm gonna
tired of y'all
finish it. You can
being
say
so damn emotional, bro.
it's not
We're
emotional.
calling it
Every
what it is,
No,
bro.
I'm not calling it
Westbrook,
what it is. I'm not calling
bro,
it what it is.
bro.
Because when
No,
Westbrook
stop,
plays, I didn't hear Nick Wright say when Westbrook was
bro,
playing, when
bro,
Westbrook was hooping in that first round, I didn't hear
bro.
Nick Wright say shit.
Hooping.
I
All
didn't hear him
right,
give him
hold
his
on, hold
flower. I
on,
didn't hear him
hold
say
on, hold on.
shit.
Set.
When Westbrook was
All right, go
playing
ahead,
bad in
bro.
the regular season, Nick Wright was saying, "Oh, he doesn't link to winning basketball. He didn't do that." He had all that to say in the regular season. Westbrook had a great first round, believe it or not. He hit timely threes. He got defensive stop. He played his role to perfection. He's not somebody. He's not a star. He's not what he used to be. Nobody says shit when he was hooping, when he's doing his thing out there. The first time Russell Westbrook had a bad game, Nick Wright came out his motherfucking mouth and had all this to say. He has not said shit. Nobody said shit. Westbrook had a great game last night, and I guarantee you, if I look and see what Nick Wright has to say about the Denver game, he has not shit to say. But let Westbrook go like 0 for 11, have a bad game, stick up the joint. The first thing you're gonna say is, "Oh, I told you so." Westbrook's not winning. Nobody says nothing when he's playing his ass off. He's getting these steals. He's doing everything for the team. But as soon as he has one bad game, and I'm gonna come to his defense of this because nobody has. When it's time to shit on Westbrook, it's a whole parade. Skip Bayless. Oh, yeah, I know. I told you he's Westbrook. When it's time for him to be Westbrook, it's time to be Westbrook. Nobody wants to come to his defense when he's hooping. I'm going to give credit when it's credit due. When he has a bad game, I don't mind people talking shit about when he has a bad game. But when he has a good game, notice how the media gets real quiet. Notice how towards the end of the season when Mike Malone got fired, who's the first person that they point the finger at? Oh, he's playing Westbrook more than he's playing the Jalen Pickett guy. Oh, that's the reason why he got fired. He's trusted Westbrook too much. What's the excuse now? What's the excuse now? So go ahead, Justin. I really want to hear what you got to say.
Bro, here's my thing, and this is why I started by saying when he plays bad, you gotta say he plays bad. When he plays good, you gotta say that he plays good. Now, we all know the media tries to push a certain narrative. Seb, you know this already, so you trying to make this big spectacle. Shut the fuck up, Seb. They get
It's
paid
not
to
a
do
big
it. They
spectacle.
get paid to do that, bro. I
All
let you
right,
talk.
so do your
I
job
let you
correctly.
talk, bro.
So,
Hold on.
dude,
I
there's
just
two
let the
sides of
nigga
the floor.
talk.
Nah, because you saying one
Forget it.
side
Just
when they
forget it, bro.
play
Go ahead,
bad.
son.
So
Son, go
why
ahead,
is
son.
it all
Forget it,
right?
son.
So why is it breaking news when he play
Son,
bad,
go
but
ahead,
if he
bro.
has a
I'm
good
done. I
game?
can't do that. When I try to, I didn't, bro. Son, you see me? I didn't say not to go ahead, sir. Now I try to talk. Now he wants to
Go
keep
ahead.
going.
Nah,
Son,
go
go
ahead
ahead,
because that's
son. I'm
bullshit though.
tired of
What
this
you?
shit, bro. Son, go ahead, please, with the serious, bro. I'm
Uh,
not doing this, bro.
I think you missed one key point, and then I want to go to OKC. That coach that took over for Mike Malone, hell of a job yesterday. He decided to trust Russ when Michael Porter had nothing going. He was fouling, he was chucking up threes, and he decided to play Russ mostly in the second half. So shout out to him. Now I want to touch on OKC. Uh, pause, but I've been telling Seb, I've been telling Seb that the problem with OKC, hell of a team, but the problem is they do not have a closer at the second option down to me. I think Chet played scared. It showed his age, but also in his defense, Jokic is a hard job. I didn't see why Hartenstein didn't start on him and they didn't do something like Chet Holmgren's because of the length on the help. But nevertheless, they decided to start Chet on him, and I feel like that's a hard coverage. Jokic is damn near 300 pounds, two something. For him, we see how he's built. That's a terrible matchup.
Yeah,
Every
very
time
much.
he just was attacking him, going straight in his chest, foul trouble automatically. And with J Dub 5 for 20, I just feel like he played great defense and he tried, but we I'm not gonna say we because that's not my team, but they need more than that from him. They he was an all-star this year. They put a lot of OKC fans have a lot of hope in him. He has to show up. He has to give at least 20 to 21 points a night plus for them to have a chance against this Denver Nuggets team. This Denver Nuggets team is talented. They're deep. They have a Hall of Fame off the bench. You can't really play around with them, and they let the Nuggets hang around yesterday, and that's why I wasn't surprised when something went wrong. Why are you fouling with 12 seconds left on the clock? Like I understand fouling so they don't get up the three, but why are you fouling immediately? You're dragging out the game for them, and that's what they want.
No, you definitely made a great point right there towards the end of the game. I was hearing a lot of people say that they did foul too early, but that I believe that that's a coaching decision. This coach is still, frankly, new when it comes to playoff and playoff adjustments and things of that nature. So he'll definitely learn from this game one. Another thing you said that was important. Jalen Williams just has to play better. Period. 5 for 20 is not gonna get it done. This is kind of what I've been saying with Oklahoma City too. What's what a lot of people have been saying. Shay's gonna do what Shay's gonna do. He's just tough to stop, free throws or not. Who's gonna be that second guy that when Shay might be getting doubled for most of the game, right? Or they're trying to get the ball out of his hand. Who's gonna be that next dude to step up, knock down timely shots, and when it really matters, just be really effective? It wasn't really Jalen Williams last night. Chet, when he needed him the most, he wet the bed. So those young dudes, man, when as Stephen A likes to say, when palms get sweaty, backsides get tight, man. We're gonna
Yeah.
need those. We're gonna need those people to step up, and those young dudes. I hope they're ready, man. They got a lot of young dudes on now.
Shout
Shout
out.
out Caruso. My
Yeah,
fault. I was
shout
gonna
out
say.
Alex Caruso. That's what I was just about to say. He had a hell of a game, hitting threes from everywhere, 5 steals. He just flooded the stat sheet. Shout out to him. Man, even though that we not talking about them right now, the Lakers should have paid him. That's all I'm saying. But shout out to him.
That's another story for another day. All the people that the Lakers should have held on to down the road. But shout out Caruso. He definitely stepped up. I feel in the regular season we didn't see too much of him. He had some injuries and then the minutes. I think they was really
Facts.
just trying to have him ready for these moments. And he definitely stepped up. Shout out for them. Once again, interested to see how that series plays out. Now, just to end the show, the final game of tonight is going to be game one of Golden State, who defeated Houston the other night in their game seven, going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who once again, who I have to say, depleted my Los Angeles Lakers. Shout out to Rudy Gobert. I can't call him Gobert anymore because we lost to him. So, but this series right here is definitely gonna be an interesting one. I just want all of us to just to give our predictions. I'll just start off by saying this is tough. I'm gonna say Minnesota in seven. I just feel that if their coach can realize the type of roster that they have for this series and put out the right game plan, that they should kind of win this easily. They have the size, something that Houston figured out last series, right? To put in Steven Adams to really muck up the game, get those offensive rebound things of that nature. The Minnesota Timberwolves, you got Julius Randle, who's a double threat, just loves to be down there rebounding, bumping buys and all that shit. So Draymond's gonna have a lot to handle. Then you still got Jaden McDaniels, who's a 6'8", 6'9", versatile defender. They're gonna have to worry about, and then you're gonna have Rudy Gobert down low. Now it's gonna be a chess match because is there gonna be times where probably Rudy Gobert may not be the best guy to have on the floor? Yes, but like I said, Steve Kerr, not Steve Kerr. I think his name is Coach Finch. Finch has to, I think, watch this. I'm pretty sure he was the Golden State Houston series and see how they really implemented Steven Adams in there, and that damn near almost won them that series. And then obviously Anthony Edwards is going to have to be the best player in this series, and I think he will. I think he's on a legend killer spree right now. Just for knocking dudes out of the playoffs. We seen what he did to Steph. We seen what he did to LeBron. He knocked out Jokic last year. Now you got Steph in front of you, a matchup he's been asking for a long time. So I think he's gonna live up to the moment. And I got the Timberwolves in 7 games. Go ahead, Seb.
I got Minnesota in six. I feel like right now that they just have like well, Anthony Edwards has a confidence that he's installing into this team to where he believes that they could win it all. Like regardless if they win or lose, he believes that they can win it all. I think right now Anthony Edwards is just he's emphasizing just defense as well. I think he knows he's a hell of a talent offensively, but I think right now where he really is thriving right now is on the defensive end. He wants to take on the challenge of guarding the best player. And as a superstar in the league, you want that from a player that if you're the best player, I want to guard you. So I think a lot of times now we're going to see him guarding Steph or guarding Jimmy. Also with this Minnesota team, I feel like they have the size and the length to really compete with the Golden State Warriors. I think you're not going to get as much threes from like a Buddy Hill or something like that because you got guys like Jaden McDaniels that could close out. You got guys like Dante DiVincenzo. He's tenacious on the defensive end too. And when we talk about the centers, we talk about a guy like Rudy Gobert. Even if you don't have Rudy Gobert, you have an offensive spark plug in Nas Reed off the bench that if he gets going offensively, now it's a dangerous team. Another guy you mentioned too, Julius Randle. If he's playing bully ball down low, feel me, to where now it's him and Draymond Green, that might negate each other too. So it's a lot of factors that I believe that could favor the Timberwolves, especially if they're hitting the 3 point at a high rate on like how they was hitting in the Lakers series. But I do think that the Golden State Warriors is not counting out though. I just think that the Minnesota Timberwolves maybe have the better team, have more guys that feel me, know their role a little better. But for this Warriors team, I'm not gonna fully count them out because at the end of the day, it's still Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. And I think that if they figure out ways to counteract what Minnesota got going on, we could be in for a 7 game series too, as well. Another 7 game series for the Golden State Warriors. So I'm not counting it out, but I just think that right now, I sort of like how Minnesota team is built different. Right now, I think that more they might have more spark offensively, and if they can manage to keep Rudy Gobert in and give valuable minutes to where now he's not like a liability out on the floor, then it might be a plus for them more than it is a minus. Because we've seen a lot of times too where Rudy Gobert cannot stay in the game because he can't guard the perimeter. He's low key not grabbing rebounds. He's a liability out there. But some way somehow, like you said, if they could take the recipe that what was working for the Houston Rockets in those 2 games to where they incorporated Steven Adams more so in the lineup, giving him more runs, then who knows? We might be looking at this Minnesota team like Rudy Gobert is more of a plus than a minus. So I have Minnesota in 6. I feel like Anthony Edwards got that confidence right now. He's up for the challenge. He's like, when somebody's up for the challenge and they just like anticipating a matchup, like certain players are going to perform when the lights get bright. I think Anthony Edwards, he doesn't shy away from the challenge at all. That's why I said I have him to be pending face of the league soon. Because at the end of the day, it's just like he wants to play players at their best. And it's rare that you see that he calls out a player and say, "Yo, I want Braun at his best. I want Curry at his best. So when I win it, like I don't want to hear nothing about it." So I like that in the player. I have the utmost confidence in this game, the utmost confidence for his teammates, and yeah, this should be an interesting series.
Um, for me, uh, I love Ant Man, but I have to go with the babyface assassin. I just think that Curry's not scared of nobody left in the West. His only troubles was Luca and Braun, and Timberwolves took care of that for them. So I think I'm pretty more like just off of star power. I'm more confident in the Golden State Warriors star power, but I think Timberwolves have a better team. But in order for the Timberwolves to win, I feel like Julius Randle has to be that X factor. An aggressive series in his prior playoff experience, he shied away and he became like, not to disrespect him in no way, but a little bit soft. I feel like if he plays bully ball like he did the first round, that gives the Timberwolves a great shot to win. But right now, just off experience, just off of hunger, I gotta go Stephen Curry in 7. So Golden State.
All right. So everybody make sure to be tuned into TNT to see how these game one or game twos and game ones turn out for all four of the respective teams playing tonight. Um, the playoffs have been interesting so far. Interested to see who will be crowned the champion once again. Also, we're still waiting to see who wins that MVP award. Shout out to Sam Presti though. I seen a little earlier he won executive of the year. Shout out to him just for the roster that he constructed. I want to thank everybody for watching, man. Thanks, Son, once again for coming on to the platform, giving his very, very, very good analysis on the game. I want to thank
Appreciate y'all
everybody
for having me.
Always,
anytime, man.
brother.
Um, please thank everybody once again. Thank everybody for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on the video. Follow us on all social media platforms at It's Debatable double underscore. Follow me at Justin Jones on Facebook for details and development. Once again, any type of content y'all looking for, DM us. Let us know in the comments what y'all want to see, who else y'all want to see back on the show. If you want to see Sound back, let us know. And that's it.
Knicks in 6.
Orange and blue skies, baby.
Bet.